4 separate rooms in the morning that can be transformed into one large room in the evening? This problem can be solved with adaptable walls. Here we see 3 different designs, each with its own ventilation system. The different types will be discussed later on in this clip. It is also important to consider what type of walls we are dealing with in this project, as all walls perform differently in terms of ventilation, acoustics, and fire safety. Another important factor that plays a major role in our choice of walls is the LCA study. The LCA study is a scientific method to determine the impact of certain materials and actions on the environment. Using this method, we were able to differentiate between the various walls and come to the conclusion that PELS 110 is one of the walls that has a low impact on the environment. But the crucial factor why we chose PELS 110 out of the selection was the fact that this particular wall also performs well in terms of acoustics. Here we see ventilation type A, with a natural supply and extraction of air. Installing this type of ventilation is very easy and will cost little compared to the other types of ventilation. A disadvantage of type A is that it depends on the weather, because if there is no wind outside, there will not be much ventilation inside either. The next type of ventilation is D. This type consists of a mechanic supply and a mechanic extraction of the air. An advantage of this type is that you have constant ventilation of the air in the rooms and that you also can control how much fresh air you ventilate. The reason why some people don't choose it is because this type constantly asks for electricity to keep the ventilation running. The last type of ventilation is smart ventilation. Smart ventilation is a combination of system A and D. When there's a lot of wind outside, the system will switch to the grills from outside to ventilate. But in the case of no wind, the grills from outside will close and system D will be applied. So we can conclude that this type of ventilation is expensive, but saves us a lot of money in the long term. This is the reason why we chose for smart ventilation in our case study.